Hi trainers! Today we have a very interesting topic, and that is about Drednaw. You might have heard from me or other YouTubers or other players that Drednaw is a pretty important objective and that you always want to try secure it. With new testings and findings, it seems that is no longer the case, and you'll have to decide strategically around Zapdos fight if you want Drednaw XP and shield or not. In today's video, I'll be talking about the hidden Drednaw debuff and how to strategize around it. I'm not sure who originally found this, but it seems that it was a player in Japan by the name of Ryanan Riva. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. They first posted inaccurate information but have corrected themselves, and I also tested this as well in practice mode to confirm if the Drednaw debuff is real. The reason why Drednaw is so important is because it gives your whole team experience, and what this does is the higher level you are, the better stats your Pokemon have, so like more health, more damage, and more defenses. It also grants a shield, and this shield will last for 90 seconds or until it gets taken down with damage. But with that 90 seconds, there is also a debuff on your team. It doesn't matter if it's the first, second, or third Drednaw, all Drednaws will give you this debuff, and it is specifically against Zapdos. Drednaw reduces the damage you will deal to Zapdos for 90 seconds from what I've tested. It will give you a reduction of 55% damage to Zapdos. This is a massive damage debuff. I tested this using Pikachu without any items. Basically, I was dealing 204 damage with my normal basic attack. With the Drednaw debuff, I was only dealing 92 per basic attack against Zapdos. With my move Electro Ball, without Drednaw, I was dealing 1200 damage. With Drednaw, I was dealing 589 damage. With this one move on Pikachu, it wasn't a 55% reduction, it was a 51% reduction, so this might vary depending on the Pokemon you're using, but even so, it's still a huge decrease that is game changing. So with that, what does that mean? I'm going to give you some strategies on how to utilize Drednaw with this debuff. If you could, feel free to subscribe and click the bell, it's free and it'll really help me out. I'm Teeds, I've played MOBAs for over 9 years, and my goal is to help you become the very best like no one ever was. For the question of the day, what are your thoughts about this hidden mechanic? Should they leave it? Should they take it out? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so we know that Drednaw lasts for 90 seconds. Sometimes your team manages to grab Drednaw just before Zapdos spawns, or sometimes you might grab the second Drednaw late into the game when Zapdos is almost spawning. But now that we have this huge debuff, this means that you shouldn't grab Drednaw every time, but now should be based on the circumstances and situations. Before, it was always get Drednaw, grab Drednaw, the XP advantage will make such a huge difference. Let's talk about the cutoff time. Because Drednaw lasts for 90 seconds, if you grab Drednaw any time after 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the timer on top of your game screen, you may have it during the Zapdos fight. This doesn't count the time of walking over to Zapdos, so it can be a little after that, but that's just the for sure time that it will be completely gone before Zapdos spawns. So just to emphasize that, if you grab Drednaw before the 3 minutes and 30 second mark, it will be gone before Zapdos spawns. Players are speculating that this is not a bug, this is a hidden comeback mechanic. Here are the strategies I suggest if Drednaw is up for grabs and the debuff will last into the Zapdos fight. If your team is in the lead, the one thing I suggest is to not start Zapdos or try and grab Zapdos if you have a good lead against the team. This gives the enemy team an opportunity to steal Zapdos from you and completely turn the game around. It happened to me, it happened to others. The best thing to do if you have a good lead is to defend Zapdos from the enemy team. The only time I suggest grabbing Zapdos if you're winning is if you completely wipe out the enemy team or the positioning of the remaining enemies are just so far off that there is no way they can get Zapdos. But if you still have the Drednaw debuff, it still makes it super risky to do it since you'll be damaging it a lot slower. Basically, with Drednaw debuff, it will be more than twice as long to take Zapdos down. Because of this, grabbing Drednaw if you're winning is not a bad thing to do. It will give you more XP, so better stats, and a team shield, making it easier to defend Zapdos from the enemies. But if you're not in the lead, it may be best for your team to ignore Drednaw because at that point, you have to go for Zapdos. It may be the only way for your team to win. The damage reduction will make taking down Zapdos significantly longer. If you are heavily behind in XP, it sucks, I know. Drednaw gives you a good amount, and if you do grab Drednaw when your team is behind, yes, it can give you better stats from leveling and a shield, and it might give you a better chance to wipe out the enemy team. But the issue with that is the time an enemy is down is not incredibly long. So if you have that debuff and it takes more than twice as long to take Zapdos down, the enemy team may already be up to steal Zapdos from you or contest it again. Every game is different, but generally I would say that taking Drednaw as the losing team and having that debuff during Zapdos fight is not ideal. I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well though. It's great to have more insight from different players and mindsets. I think that more players will not know about this than the ones that do, which can make it hard because communication is pretty difficult currently in Pokemon Unite. So if you're telling your team to retreat from Drednaw, they may not understand why. However, if you see the enemy team doing Drednaw and Zapdos is almost up, if your team is on the losing end, you could just try and push them off it and not let them take it, and your team not taking it for themselves. So basically neither team gets Drednaw. Drednaw will disappear when Zapdos spawns. However, if you see the losing team trying to take Zapdos, it may be okay to let them have it, as it will just make it very hard for them to secure Zapdos. Alright, back to the question of the day. What are your thoughts on this hidden mechanic? Should they remove it? Should they keep it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, trainers. Subscribing and clicking the bell would really help me out. You may have or haven't noticed, but I don't try to reach the 8 or 10 minute mark for ads because I want to keep my videos with only the necessary information for you guys and not have you sit there for too long. Not that there's anything wrong with others doing that, get that bread, but because I choose to do it this way, I do rely more on support in other ways, so if you could, I'd be so grateful. If not, that's okay, I do appreciate your view here anyways. I have also activated YouTube memberships, so if you do join my channel, you will get a badge next to your name. I will see it in the YouTube comments, everyone will see it in the YouTube comments, that will evolve over time the longer you are a member for. You also get some Pokemon emotes, and I can add more the longer you are a member. With that, a huge thank you to my current members, Anna, Chris, Lars, and Max. Thank you so much for your support. Feel free to leave a like on the video if you found this interesting. Thank you so much for watching, trainers. Bye!